Okay, hey, Kevin, go get a kombucha. Just step out for a sec. You just give us a minute. Okay, we're good.
I've never wanted to have sex with a pot pie, but like, I'd have sex with that pot pie.
We're all weak to stepping on nails.
Let me preface this by saying I wrote a script.
Daytona Beach is like two mild inconveniences from being a post-apocalyptic wasteland anyway.
So many of my tabs say semen.
Are you guys ready for this weird, horny adventure that we're all about to go on?
You can't handcuff me for skanking.
This motherfucker gaslights you.
Diet Coke and Sorrow will be chapter 4.
And against all odds, Kyle, we became those swirly weirdos.
This whole podcast is a very negative mouthfeel.
Hello, and welcome to Debate This, the show where no one is right, but someone is definitely wrong. In this show, we take time out of our busy adult lives to talk about comic books, video games, and how the fact that Marvel kept his series being on the payroll a secret this far is nothing shy of a miracle.
Wait, what?
We can't say anything else about that because it's a big spoiler.
It is a huge spoiler.
What's the spoiler for?
We can't say anything else.
Well, by the time this comes out, it may not be a spoiler. Actually, it won't be a spoiler.
Is it a spoiler? What is it a spoiler for? I don't know what we're talking about.
This comes out. Oh, this comes out 4 days before that episode.
Boo! Boo Todd! Boo
Whoops.
Todd!
Anyway, Matt, you can cut this. Do you guys want to know what the spoiler is?
Yeah.
What are we talking about?
I forget the details. Is this the
Zero is in the post-credit scene of Sloaner, and he is playing
Sorry.
aka Kafras, which is and they kept it like a big secret until the premiere night.
Yeah.
That's the character's name.
Fucking Variety spoiled it.
It will be I'm sure they will not refer to him as
It's a big deal that it got spoiled too.
Yeah, it was a really uncool thing to do.
Anyway, Matt, you can cut that, you can leave it. I don't know. All right. Hey, friends, we've somehow made it through another Spooktacular Express, and thus we get to return to our regularly scheduled programming. That is to say, we've got new nerdy questions to solve and answer.
So let me guess. You guys all downloaded and played Sad Satan, and you've seen you've investigated every corner of Sad Satan.
I died. I'm recording this from hell now. Because Andrew made me watch Sad Satan.
I'm still dealing with the fact that we decided that Luigi didn't save Harambe, and that's what caused all the problems in life. Well, mere days from now, on November 12th, we're all getting a hot injection of new MCU content on Disney Plus Day. If you recall last year, this was the day that we got heads up on all the major Disney Plus projects that we've been enjoying this year and ones to come. So that would be WandaVision, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Loki, Hawkeye, Ms. Marvel, Secret Invasion, Moon Knight, She-Hulk, all those things, all announced. We've either got them or we're looking forward to them.
It was the first hit of serotonin we had gotten all COVID quarantine. The internet was abuzz for a month because of this announcement. It was wild.
Well, so here's the issue. Wouldn't you know it? Kevin Feige came to me the other day and he said, Todd, we forgot to plan anything in Phase 5 Disney Ploose lineup, and only the nerds that debate this can get me out of this here pickle. So
my good friend Todd Thomas. It's me, Kevin Feige.
Well, I guess, here we are again, bailing out Kevin Feige. We just got to do him a solid.
You're close friends with Kevin Feige, and you still don't pronounce his last name right? What's with you in that soft G?
Only his close friends can use the soft G, Matt.
Only his close friends can call him the Feige.
It's the complete opposite of what you actually thought. I said it correctly because I'm a close friend. You are saying it wrong.
That's how cretins pronounce it.
Every day he calls Todd and says, Todd, my good friend, I just wish people would pronounce my name right with a soft G instead of a hard
My good friend, Todd Thomas.
Yeah. Matt, it's like if someone calls you looking for Matthew. It's a red flag. They're wrong.
It's true. They're not correct. Or they're my mother.
Well, so anyway, now since we're going to have OKF, we're going to help them out today. Bringing in the best possible concept to make the mouse another $1 jillion today is Kyle Doug Days Harper, Andrew Chippendale Parklife Henderson, and Matt the Mysterious Benedict Society Cole.
I got nothing.
Yeah, no idea.
They're all Disney Plus shows that none of us have watched.
They're all hit Disney Plus shows, guys. Come on.
And I'm assuming the last one is Being John Malkovich type show with starring Benedict Cumberbatch?
It's not at all. And I have no idea what it actually is. No one watches them.
If that existed, I would have already watched it. It'd been not an argument.
Well, so here we are. So nerds, we need a new, fresh Disney Plus series to throw into this Phase 5 lineup in the next few years, and it's got to focus around a character we have not seen yet. So what I need you to do is to tell us a little bit about the character you're pitching, and then, what other heroes or villains are coming with them. Kyle, why don't you start us off?
Todd. Yeah, Todd.
Yes, Matt.
We are pitching today a very self-aware kind of musical show as well. So it's gonna be that weird cross-section of like things people don't know that they want until we give it to them, that WandaVision was. So this is going to be a Josie and the Pussycats style live action rock and roll mystery of the week featuring the X-person Dazzler with the plucky death-defying dancer Longshot as part of their touring dance crew. And we'll be going up against the villain Mojo, who you don't know about yet, but I'll be happy to tell you about in a future question.
Real quick, Kyle, if I were to go to the Marvel database, marvel.fandom.com, of course.
Yes,
and
of course.
Look up Longshot, what do you think one of the aliases of Longshot is? And
I didn't
Are you guessing Leatherboy? Because Leatherboy is one of the aliases.
Wait, hold on.
That only makes his inclusion more apt. That only strengthens my resolve to include Longshot in this show.
It certainly aligns with the rock and roll mystery tour idea you've got going on.
Yep.
Yeah, I have questions about Dazzler. I get Dazzler. I understand.
So Longshot is, depending on the continuity, from Mojo World, a citizen of Mojo World, a interdimensional TV dimension where everything is focused on television ratings, and it is ruled by the villain Mojo. And we'll get more into it in the future. But Longshot has the power of luck, where as long as he is attempting something, he will achieve the most lucky outcome of what he is attempting, which leads to a lot of stunts and flips and cool knife tricks that allow him to be a valuable asset to the X-Men or Dazzler's dance troupe.
The idea that there's a world based on TV ratings definitely sounds like some entertainment writer was working through some stuff.
Yeah, someone definitely was working through some stuff. Mojo World was developed in the late 80s, early 90s when everyone was like, television's the worst, am I right? And they were right. And here we are today in 2021.
Okay, so two things specifically about Dazzler. Thing one, didn't realize until today that Dazzler and Jubilee were two different people. Thought those were two names for the same mutant.
Yep.
My bad. Second off, a Google search of Marvel's Dazzler has reminded me that Dazzler was in the Dark Phoenix movie, and I don't know if anybody but me saw it, but she was there.
I tried.
That's all I know about Dazzler.
Todd saw half of it.
Yeah, I remember that. I also remember there was a rumored casting of her that was going to be a pretty big name, and it didn't happen.
I thought Dazzler was a man. Who am I thinking of?
I don't know, but I Googled Dazzler and it said Dazzler is a superhero with the power of disco. And so I'm kind of in.
Dazzler was created as a joint venture between Marvel Comics and Casablanca Records that ended up falling through. So they were going to create this fake pop star to sell comic books and records together. And the record side fell through, but Marvel was like, screw it. We'll have a disco light show superhero anyway and put her in the X-Men. And has moved on from disco and is now a more like alt punk rock type.
There's a show about that, right? Gem and the Holograms. Wasn't that a movie about that exact same concept?
Yeah, but this one's tied to the MCU, Matt.
Okay.
Josie and the Pussycats is very similar as well. We're not reaching for new source material. We're reskinning old ones because we're Disney.
Dazzler definitely had an Owl City phase. Anyway, okay, so we've got your kind. I'm just stuck thinking about Josie and the Pussycats now.
Yep.
So we've got that kind of fun, the gang goes on adventures feel. Andrew, what did you bring for us today?
Right. So I'm going to talk today about Raven Darkholme, aka Mystique. Now, I know what you're thinking. Yes, we have done Raven. We've done a lot of Mystique. Mystique is by no means a stranger to mainstream audiences.
Kevin told me that we have, in fact, not done Mystique, and we forget about anything that has been done with Mystique ever before.
Yeah, the Foxiverse doesn't exist.
Well, not yet.
Yeah, so the Fox movies did happen. And just so for listeners know, Mystique was featured in most of the Fox movies. She was first portrayed by Rebecca Romijn in the original trilogy. Which, are we calling those movies the original trilogy? Is that a thing?
That's what I call them.
Yeah.
Okay.
For lack of a better term.
I hate that I have to do that.
Yeah.
And then later by Jennifer Lawrence in the second trilogy, or the
movies
Class
thereafter.
saga.
All the movies
all the
after
other ones.
X3.
Yeah, and in both of those, Mystique was kind of a loner, kind of a wild card. I would say the only exception was probably how she was in First Class, but I didn't really like how they did Mystique in First Class, so we're not going to talk about that too much.
Mystique in First Class was Mystique in name and powers only. Like
Mystique in First Class was a mistake.
Yeah, very weird characterization.
Yeah.
So anyway, fast forward. We already know that X-Men are eventually coming over to the MCU. We don't really know how or in what way. It's also been established already that we're going to have some anti-hero vehicles. Disney Plus is going to be no stranger to weird off-color stories. So I think this is the perfect time for a good old-fashioned heist action thriller. So this series is going to feature Mystique attempting to take down a massive criminal empire who are running the lawless island of Madripoor, who listeners may remember was originally introduced in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Together with her blind, prophetic, will they, won't they love interest, Irene Adler, a.k.a. Destiny, along with hot-headed renegade John Allardyce, a.k.a. Pyro, and a down-on-her-luck teen with a mysterious power, they'll show Madripoor what it means to be a mutant. Tagline.
We didn't get a name for the down-on-her-luck teen?
Well, we learn that. Well, we'll learn about. Well, I'll get into it when I get into the story. But her name is Anna Marie.
Okay.
All right.
That doesn't mean anything to anyone.
Mm-mm.
Nope.
Okay. Kevin has informed me that, contrary to what you said, we do know exactly when the mutants are entering into the Marvel universe. So he wanted me to tell you you're wrong. But he's nodding along with what you're saying so far.
I know so little about the rumors that I don't know if you're doing a bit or you're telling me the truth right now.
Anything is anything in comics, baby.
He's doing a bit, but I'm a little bit mad that you brought Madripoor into this already, because I now need to change the answers to some of my questions.
Oh, no.
Okay, well, we're ready for another completely unique idea. Matt, what do you have?
Oh boy, Todd, let me tell you about the Goonies meeting Veronica Mars in this girl-powered whodunit starring the one and only Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur. Now, did he say dinosaur? Oh boy, listener, he did say dinosaur. Listen, the MCU is getting real weird right now. We're doing the whole multiverse thing. We've got dragons in Shang-Chi. We've got whatever's happening in Spider-Man No Way Home.
Well, I heard, Matt, you're in that one, aren't you?
I might be. I'm waiting for the day. But listen, what the MCU really needs is to be grounded in reality. Something that viewers can latch onto and say, I've seen that before. I know that from my real world. And thus, Todd, dinosaurs. We are introducing Devil Dinosaur to the MCU via Disney Ploose alongside his new partner, Moon Girl, because it turns out Devil Dinosaur was created in the 70s. Didn't know that, but has been reintroduced in all new, all different Marvel, and we're going to follow along with that storyline as Devil Dinosaur and Moon Girl hijinks their way through New York City and save the day in the face of an unlikely foe.
Now, Matt.
Now, you said... I have a couple questions, if I may, Todd. One,
please.
You said you compared it to Goonies, which tells me there's a pirate ship involved, but then you cast it and set it in New York City. Do those two things contradict each other in any way? Is there a pirate ship in this?
Okay, so I'm going to say negatory on the pirate ship. However, the bit of Goonies that I was going for was the, like, comedic schluff your way through it heist against a ragtag group of hooligan villains who you will meet later on.
Okay.
So, Matt, did we do the same thing? We did the same thing.
We did a very similar thing today.
We're all doing the same thing.
I'm not sorry about that.
Follow-up question, Matt. The only dinosaur I am familiar with in Marvel canon is from the meme, the Spider-Man meme, where he says, but I don't want to cure cancer. I want to turn people into dinosaurs. Is that Devil Dinosaur, or is that a different dinosaur man entirely?
That is a different dinosaur man entirely. I know of a lot more dinosaurs in the Marvel canon now than I did 4 hours ago. But Devil Dinosaur is not the guy who could cure cancer but wants to turn the world into dinosaurs. No.
This is the red dinosaur, right?
This is the red dinosaur. This is the red T-Rex looking dinosaur. Yes.
I think you've brought him up before.
Todd has brought him up before.
Oh, Todd has. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. This is familiar.
I am taking notes to present back to Kevin when we're done. And I want you to help me, Matt. My note says grounded in reality, familiar to what people are used to.
Uh-huh.
And then I have dinosaur with a question mark behind it.
Yep.
Matt, are you aware this is real? Like, there is a Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur show.
Well, so the Devil Dinosaur,
like it exists.
Devil Dinosaur shows up a whole bunch in Hulk and the Agents of Smash. They've been trying really hard to push Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur on Marvel animation, but we need to do it in the MCU.
Got it. Yeah, I'm just reading a press release saying that it's a thing. It exists.
No, I think you're confusing. Honest confusion. You're confusing this with Moon Dragon, because that sounds similar to Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur, and that's Drax's daughter, which is rumored to show up. That's what you're getting confused with.
I don't think he is. I think...
there's Marvel's Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur is a confirmed animated project for 2022.
That looks like a lot of fun.
But we are doing this as cute. A live-action MCU property, which there are plenty of existing things that are both in Marvel animation and also the MCU. It's different universes. We can do this.
Fair.
Okay.
Well, so you've kind of started to get into this, so I'd love to know more. So, as you know, the best series and even movies that we have right now, so says K-Funk, is that all of our great stories, they come from just like a bit of source material. There's always some tie back to the source material. So if you could, what story will you be telling? And, what is that source material or comic run that you are pulling from to influence your series?
So, Todd, while the first half of season 1 will be your standard Mystery of the Week style thriller, Dazzler and Longshot show up in a new town to give a concert. They can't give a concert because reason. So they find the reason. It's a C, D tier level Marvel villain. They beat them and then close out with a hit song that will soar to #1 on iTunes this week. The mid-season break will introduce viewers to internet influencer Mojo and his Mojo World brand. Mojo is going to run a TMZ style online outlet, and after a compromising image of Dazzler makes its way around the internet, Mojo decides to make Dazzler Mojo World's featured star and begin a harassing and doxing campaign of our hero. She's going to deal with that for a few episodes when she will be, yep, there's Mojo here in our group chat. That is an accurate depiction of him, and Todd's face is amazing.
Oh.
It is offensive.
He looks like a Redditor.
He looks kind of like if the ghost from Ghostbusters got mixed up with the bad guy from Will Smith's Wild Wild West.
So,
excellent.
After ruining Dazzler's life for a few weeks, getting shows canceled, just trying to start controversy, he decides to take it the final step and drive traffic to his site the best way he can think of, by kidnapping Dazzler and Longshot and forcing them to compete in a series of games that are a lot like Squid Game, but legally distinct from Squid Game. And for viewers at home who, yes, can't see this picture of Mojo. He is actually a creature. He is an alien called the Spineless. The race is called the Spineless. He is the leader of this alien world and is a very grotesque take on a television executive. He was concepted as a monstrous version of a television executive. Yep, looks a lot like JT Waternoose from Monsters Inc. or this other thing that I don't.
That is
from League of Legends.
Listeners who might remember our League of Legends flavor text. Urgot looks like Urgot.
Sure.
He looks like a absolute delightful villain.
Yeah, he's gonna be real gross and just make you feel real icky every time he comes on screen, because that's who he is. This is gonna be a more mature show, by the way. This is not gonna be this is gonna be a little more than your PG-13 fare. He's gonna be real uncomfortable and real upsetting every time you see him.
I don't like him.
I was waiting for anyone to ask more questions about what that is.
I don't want to know anything more about Mojo. I don't like him.
I personally have nothing else to say.
Fair. Let's move on past the unsettlingness of Mojo. Andrew, where are you bringing us some source material from?
Okay, so the source material I'm pulling from is from the X-Men run. Is from the X-Men arc of Days of Future Past. Now I know what you're gonna say.
Kevin is standing behind me, hands on my shoulders.
Now, I realize that there is a movie called X-Men Days of Future Past. We're not doing that. The movie obviously pulled a lot from that storyline, and I'm not suggesting that we rehash anything that already lives in that movie. However, there's a lot from the original Days of Future Past that was either heavily changed or not included at all. Most of that is what was going on with Mystique. So, in the original comic, I think this is kind of interesting. For anybody that doesn't know, Days of Future Past was a very small, I think it was only 2 issues. Very small, but very isolated story arc that ran in X-Men in 1981. And Days of Future Past in the comics is actually the opposite of the way they did it in the movie, where it was 1981, present day, when they ran it, and Kitty Pryde was actually sent back in time from the future, rather than like we start in the present and we go or whatever.
Yeah, got it.
And Kitty Pryde wasn't sending Wolverine back. Kitty Pryde was sending herself back. So we have like present day X-Men, or Kitty Pryde, present day Kitty Pryde just joined, and then like adult version of Kitty Pryde shows up, is like, everything's bad. So she informs the then 19 era, present day era X-Men that in her time, years from now, Mystique will have led the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants to assassinate Senator Kelly, which obviously does happen in the movie. But in addition to Senator Kelly, it's Professor X and Moira McTaggart. And then that's the Sentinels, yada, yada, yada. So we're going to cut all the time traveling stuff, and instead we're going to build on the idea of Mystique kind of building up the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants. So since this group has only been led by Magneto in the movies, felt like the MCU version can be a different type of brotherhood and can be kind of like a rambunctious crew of anti-heroes led by an older, more confident Mystique. This is a Mystique who's already made her mistakes and has already learned from them. She knows who she is, and she has no one to please but herself. She's just here looking to have a good time and sow some chaos in a fun Venom 1, not Venom, let there be carnage kind of way.
Hang on. What's that, Kevin? You want? No, he didn't say. You want me to ask him?
I hate this.
Andrew, real quick. I just, for no good reason, I have to ask this question. How much does your plot count on Hugh Jackman / Wolverine?
That's the best part. 0.
Kevin, you said 0? That's the yeah. Okay, we're good. I just had to.
All right.
I had to ask that question under my own accord, my own decision to ask that question.
So tell the K-Man that we're good. Here's my pitch. So our story begins with Raven, aka Mystique, infiltrating a shady biotech lab. She's communicating with another person, as in these types of movies tend to do, saying like, I'm in, all that whole thing. She does the whole Hitman thing where she shapeshifts as one guard to slip past another and then probably kills him because of whatever. Eventually, she ends up in the center of the facility, finds what she's looking for. A small vial stashed behind several lines of lasers. She does her best to morph her body to fit between the lasers, but of course sets off the alarm and is quickly ambushed by a team of guards with the same iconic tattoo of a monkey. We've seen this monkey in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. That's the brass monkey from Madripoor, but she doesn't know that. She's yelling into her communication device for extraction. Eric, extraction point. Eric? Fade to black. 2 years later, 2 years have gone by. Ravens is living in a maximum security women's prison. We're introduced to her best friend and next door cell neighbor, Irene Adler. The two, Irene Adler is also blind and can see prophecies or can tell the future. It's not clear. The two share some light, witty banter about talking about how Magneto abandoned Raven 2 years ago. She's done with him, whatever. We're moving on. Just then, a new prisoner shows up on the cell block. This weird teenage girl from Louisiana that goes by the name of Anna and is very weird about personal space. Also, she wears gloves. Do you know who this is? It's Rogue. It's Rogue. We're doing a Rogue.
Is question from the audience.
Yeah, Matt.
Anna Paquin, yes, no?
Unfortunately, no. We're not doing Anna Paquin.
What's that, Kevin? You want to?
No. We're done with this bit. No.
What? Yeah, apparently we're not doing Anna Paquin.
We're not doing Anna Paquin.
That's the way it is.
I really liked Anna Paquin as Rogue. She was one of the best.
Really like Anna Paquin.
Very much was. Yeah. That's why I asked. I really liked her Rogue.
Yeah. Much like doing a Rogue, there's probably a scene where some guard gets too close to Rogue and she starts unwittingly draining his life, and then all hell breaks loose, right? Raven will come and defuse the situation. That's when they become friends. Okay, so later that night, Irene wakes up from a harrowing nightmare and is screaming, "Brass monkey!" I almost said that funky monkey.
We all did it, Andrew.
Yep. The antidote is in Madripoor. That's our exposition. The guards arrive to take her to solitary confinement, but not before Raven hears it. Together, Raven and Anna use their powers to break Irene out of solitary, and with their powers combined, escape the prison altogether in search of Madripoor and the Brass Monkey. Their investigation leads them to the island and the aforementioned Brass Monkey pub, where we see Selby, who was that woman that they meet at the bar in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. She's there to connect the universes. She informs them of this lab that's rife with the same prototype serum that Raven had tried to steal 2 years ago. We don't need to explain why they're looking for the serum. It doesn't really matter at this point. So the three of them infiltrate the lab and find records leading to a number of seemingly unrelated names. We see Secretary Pierce, General Ross, Peggy Carter. They learn that the project was abandoned by S.H.I.E.L.D., but then later picked up by some other unknown patron using the alias, and I'm sorry for this, but the alias is R. Kelly. We're going to talk about why.
What's that, Kevin? What's that? You think that's terrible? You want me to tell him to not do it?
Tell K-Man, just give me a second. Let me do the reveal, and then we'll make the decision afterward. Yep, I'm almost done.
Okay.
So, they find offshore bank account records connecting to all kinds of shady figures like the Kingpin and Wen Wu from Shang-Chi. So now we have our plot. Raven and her team are going up against the Hand for control of Madripoor and to eradicate this dangerous serum. So then the rest of the season, the gang is just knocking off lieutenants of the Hand one by one. And at some point, the gang will also encounter and subsequently recruit the hot-headed comic relief of the show, one John Allardyce, also known as Pyro, who I mentioned earlier. And that's our show.
Real quick, Andrew, this is coming from Todd, friend of yours, Todd, Andrew. You referenced Falcon and the Winter Soldier a lot.
A lot.
A lot. Mm-hmm. And I have to say, I knew this was your favorite series. And I'm just curious. Do you think that you're going to pull off a better short run series than Falcon and the Winter Soldier? Because I'm not sure
if Todd,
that is.
I need you to do me a favor. I need you to ear muffle K-Man over there. Can you do that for me?
Kevin, go get a kombucha. Just step out for a sec. You just give us a minute. Okay, we're good.
Okay, so I would like very much to this show to right the sins of its father, a.k.a. Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Listen, out of that however many hour show that was, there was at least a good hour and a half.
Thank you.
That's accurate.
Matt.
Todd.
I paused in case anyone was going to go after Andrew, but I don't think... Oh, wait, Kevin, you come back in?
Foolproof.
You're good, Kevin? You got your kombucha?
Bring him back in.
Okay.
Got your kombucha?
I like that you talk to him like he's a cat.
Yeah.
Well, He's just so on. I can't finish sentences. You got to be quick.
Yeah.
Matt, what about you? What is some of the source material you are pulling from, and will it involve Hugh Jackman?
It will not involve Hugh Jackman, although I am once again upset that Andrew and I both chose to tie a lot of things to Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Damn it.
We did not plan this.
I love this when this happens.
Okay, so we're
listeners of the show, just proof that we don't fully run everything past each other before we jump on in here.
Nah.
Yeah,
this is all fresh.
Also proof that we do this 2 hours before we record.
So we're going to pull our story largely from the first Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur book, which was 2016's BFF's storyline. So this is Devil Dinosaur's modernization and reintroduction into Marvel canon, and the first appearance of Lunella Lafayette as Moon Girl. Now we're going to change a few beats about Devil Dinosaur's arrival in New York City, but the relationship between the two is going to follow the same arc as they form an unlikely friendship to steal back the magic MacGuffin. Now, let's talk a little bit about comic book canon. So, like I said, Devil Dinosaur came around 1978, created by Jack Kirby, and lived in a dinosaur universe, just an Earth with a bunch of numbers where everything is dinosaurs. They're also like human races on Dinosaur World, but they're all like prehistoric early humans. They look like monkeys. They're like monkey people. And Devil Dinosaur has his whole herd, pack, family, grouping of beasts killed by a group called the Killer Folk, who are the bad monkey people.
Seems lazy.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, don't like that, actually, the more I think about it.
And he is the only one left alive. And that sparks a rage in him that triggers his mutation, because he's actually a mutant that turns him red and gives him like human level or above human level intelligence. He then befriends a member of the small folk community, who are the good monkey people. His name is Moon Boy. And Moon Boy and Devil Dinosaur romp around for like 30 years of Marvel canon. And then they disappear for a while after they were transported to Earth 616 and sent to the Savage Lands. They ran in with Ghost Rider. It was a whole thing. Anyway, 2016 comes around.
Why is there always they hung out with Ghost Rider for a while? Like, is he like the fucking like orientation leader for Marvel?
Without that sentence, we don't have the potential for a T-Rex bathed in flame riding a giant motorcycle.
That's true.
Yeah, that's fair.
Or like riding a little tricycle.
That's probably the better version of that.
Anyway, okay, so jump forward to 2016, right? And we need to bring Devil Dinosaur, who is back in Dinosaur World, to Earth 616 and get him in the modern day. And the way that Marvel does that is by this girl, Lunella Lafayette, who is 9 years old at the time and applying to colleges, finding this thing called the Night Stone, which she thinks is Kree technology, which is going to save her from the Terrigen Mist circling New York City because she's a new human. What's a new human, you ask? It's the new metal version of Inhuman, where an Inhuman has sexual relations with a regular human, and they make a half Inhuman baby. They call him
Wait, Kevin, why are you leaving the room? Kevin, wait, yeah. Kevin, no, you have to come back in.
These are the story beats we're changing. We're not doing that. So anyway, she finds this piece of Kree technology. Turns out it's a Night Stone. They've existed for millennia, and her gym teacher at school steals the Night Stone and spins it like a basketball. That opens a portal through time to Dinosaur World, where the Killer Folk have beaten Moon Boy to death to steal another Night Stone, and that portal warps the Killer Folk and Devil Dinosaur to 2016 Manhattan, onto the basketball court at Lunella Lafayette's high school. Again, not touching that, but needed to get it out there so you can understand where we're going, right? So we know that Eternals is going to really spark off the Marvel Universe. We're going to get some crazy shit.
Not according to the reviews.
And Lunella Lafayette is going to be fearful for herself of whatever the Eternals have coming. And what she is working to create is actually basically a homemade sling ring, because we're going more the like nanotech science route than we are the mystical magic stones from prehistoric time. So she's trying to create a teleportation ring to help get herself and her family away from whatever incoming threat there is. And she tries to use her homemade sling ring and accidentally brings Devil Dinosaur through a portal that closes immediately into New York City. Now, hijinks ensue for the first half of the season. And around 3 episodes in, all the subscribers are going to say, listen, Disney Plus, we're halfway through this series. What's it going to be about? Well, boom, episode 4 is where it pops off, when they introduce none other than Abomination from Shang-Chi stepping through another similar portal and getting in a big old fight with Devil Dinosaur. Because in the comic books, Devil Dinosaur fights Hulk, but it's totally awesome Hulk. We're not doing that either. Abomination's going to fight Devil Dinosaur, and he's going to chain him up and drag him back through the portal. Where does that portal lead? To Val in Madripoor. Fucking Madripoor. So
you sound insane.
Yeah.
That is unhinged. Listeners, he's foaming at the mouth right now.
Pepe Sylviaing myself around here.
Also, you've done a really good job in creating 1993's We're Back, a dinosaur story.
Yep, this is 100% what it is.
I had 2 copies of the We're Back VHS because I burned out the first one.
I'm stuck on the gym teacher opening up the portal, because all I can think about is Hannibal Buress as the gym teacher in Spider-Man Homecoming, spitting a portal open and going, damn.
Whack.
Yeah. So that's pretty much it, right? Abomination shows up, he steals Devil Dinosaur, and they take him through this portal, and they think the portal's in Madripoor, but actually he's in dinosaur jail, which is under the Museum of Natural History, and that's comic book canon. That's from the book. I had to take it from the book. So Moon Girl, Lunella Lafayette, breaks her dinosaur out of the Museum of Natural History, and then they take down Val and Abomination with the help of a friend who you'll meet in question 3.
I feel like of all the things that you just said, the one thing that I can really accept is Dinosaur Jail lives below the Museum of Natural History.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that sounds right out of all the crazy that just spilled out of your mouth.
I will tell you, while you were saying that, Kevin was in the back going, yeah, all right, and writing a lot of notes.
Yeah, he was following.
Specifically that part.
Yeah, whatever.
Don't you whatever us. You just said the jail is under the Museum of Natural History.
It's from the book.
No one watches.
If you would have read the book, Todd, you'd understand.
Anyway, if there's one thing that the MCU does, it's connecting threads, right? So you've kind of started to scratch some of this, but how does your character connect into the current or future MCU? And also, Kevin made sure to have me ask, what are you going to sell as the title to your series? So again, tell us how your story is going to seamlessly integrate into your characters, what's going on, either into the currently existing stories, and what is the title. And also, Kevin stepped out, but if you say that it's a multiverse thing, and that's your reason for why that just works, okay, that is a valid answer, but it is also a very cheap way out of this question.
Well, good news, Todd. So Mojo World isn't not a multiverse thing, but it's mostly going to be a quantum realm thing. So after playing through,
do we know that that's different? Yes or no?
Exactly.
Wait, Kevin, is multiverse and quantum realm? We haven't decided. We're just waiting to see how things pan out.
Oh,
okay.
Oh, and Todd's neck has just been broken.
So after narrowly surviving the Mojo World games, as they are called, Dazzler and Longshot escape to find that they had been held captive in the quantum realm, this pocket of the quantum realm, this person, this thing, this being Mojo has populated and is running his media empire from. and they escape. They come out through a portal somewhere. Maybe it's an Avengers Tower. Who cares? But they get on with their life, go back on the road, get to do their tour uninterrupted. And as credits roll on the last episode, we cut to Bruce Banner or Hank Pym or one of the sciencier Avengers,
one of those nerds, tinkering with a computer, and an image with rough audio, a rough image with staticky audio starts to take shape on screen, and we see two combatants fighting on an arena platform again to a crowd chanting "Mojo, Mojo, Mojo." Fade to black. Kyle.
Todd.
I like your idea. However, I'm looking at this photo of Mojo, and I've suddenly noticed Mojo's nipples.
We can air shop out the nipples if that's the hang up here.
It's one of them.
He's not a human. He's an alien from an alien race, a member of the alien race called the Spineless. So if we need to decide the Spineless don't have nipples, that's a creative license I'm willing to take.
Quick question: can we get a vibe check on old K Fikes? Where's he feeling right now?
In regards to what, the Mojo's nipples or
specifically?
Kevin, are we anti-pro nip? You're good? You're good with it? It's got to be a mocap human man. Okay, yeah. So
say we are.
Yeah, Kevin has said that Phase 5 is pro exposed nipples. At least for aliens, they have to be aliens because then it's
after 90 years, Kevin Feige has finally gotten Disney to change its stance on nipples on screen.
Yeah, well, we're in a brave new world when it comes to nipples in Disney. Andrew, what do you got?
Right, so we talked about the big bad is going to be the Hand, and Raven and her team are going to be following up the chain. So throughout the rest of the first season, it's basically Raven and Destiny, Pyro, and Rogue all following the chain of command of the Hand all the way up to the top. And the last episode, we finally find the mysterious benefactor, who is revealed to be, wait for it, Sharon Carter.
Sharon Carter.
Now, Sharon Carter reveals that she'd been exiled from the U.S. after the events of Civil War. She blamed Cap and the rest of the Avengers for her losing virtually everything. Sharon explains that she found in her aunt's records an old initiative that S.H.I.E.L.D. had been looking into back in the 80s with then Senator Robert Kelly, i.e. R. Kelly. That's how we're pulling in
Senator or problematic, controversial R&B artist.
Senator Robert Kelly. We can change his name to Martin Kelly if that's better.
That would be probably
Kevin,
a lot
is that
better.
You want it? Kevin says it's better.
It's better. I know that you didn't ask, but I'm telling you that this has to be portrayed by Ed Begley Jr. That's non-negotiable.
Okay, yeah.
So the way it worked is Sharon contacted the Hand through back channels in Madripoor in order to acquire the serum in hopes to use it as a way to rebuild S.H.I.E.L.D. from the ground up. So Sharon and Raven fight. Raven stabs Sharon, ultimately killing her. And that's when we get the title card, which is also the title of the series, which is, ready for it? That's So Raven.
Was that, Kevin? Disney already has a property named that? We can't
so
do it
mad.
unless Raven Simone is the lead. All right.
Because I'm 90% sure Matt's gonna do a similar stupid bit.
Can I give you the post credits? Can I give you the post credits real quick?
I can't stop what's already started. So yeah.
Okay, so post credits. The post credits scene starts with Raven in some VIP room inside the Brass Monkey. She's talking with some henchmen and responds with something badass like, "Tell General Ross the power broker doesn't take deals, he makes them." And then we hear shooting outside, and when she goes to investigate, she sees Bucky and Sam running from Madripoor guards, like in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. She smiles at the camera as we see her morph into the image of Sharon Carter.
Ooh.
Yeah. Second. One more. Second post-credit singer. Okay, so then we go back to Irene / Destiny. She bursts into Anna's room late at night. She's horrified, and her face is pale and white. And all she says is, "Carol, stay away from Carol." That's our second post-credit stinger, because I'm alluding to the storyline where Rogue takes Carol Danvers' powers, which is the one thing that I think we've agreed with we all really want to come out of the X-Men coming to the MCU, is we want Rogue to be stealing Carol Danvers' powers. So
you're right. We've all talked at length how we want that to happen. Yeah.
I'm actually making it a point to not comment on that because I don't want to get into it because I'm that into it.
Because you have a lot of thoughts about it?
Yeah.
So the show, and in case you need a clean cut, the show is called That's So Raven.
I didn't need the clean cut. I actually prefer we don't have the clean cut. Yeah, K-Fi says that we might have a little bit of legal troubles with that one. There's going to be a big payout settlement if we use that title, but we'll
non-negotiable.
Who's Disney going to pay out? Themselves?
Yeah. My two terms are Ed Begley Jr. and the title. That's everything. Everything else I can waffle on.
Disney contracts weren't as airtight as they are now back in the 90s, and Raven Simone actually owns the IP That's So Raven.
I think she does.
It's an NFT that she owns. No one knows what it is, but it is what it is. Matt, are you going to say a lot of the same things that Andrew said?
I'm going to say similar things that Andrew said in a slightly different order.
Yay!
All right, so in this 6-episode run, like I said, we're going 3 episodes with next to nothing. And then the 4th episode, everything pops off. Abomination shows up, beats up Devil Dinosaur, drags him back to a portal to the secret dinosaur jail under the Museum of Natural History. Right? Wild. So, episode 5 is our budget-saving episode, because much like the first Inhumans, we spent a lot of budget on animal CGI. So we need to save some in that 5th episode. No Devil Dinosaur in the 5th episode. 6th episode, Moon Girl breaks into the secret dinosaur jail to free Devil Dinosaur, but she is not able to do it alone. Why, you ask? She's a 9-year-old girl. Her age is going to be ambiguous. We're probably going to age her up a little bit, like high school, realistically. But she is a child, and she is a technological genius, but it's not like she's rocking Stark Tech or anything. So she's going to need some help, and she's going to need some help from a friend. But who is involved in this? We see at the beginning of episode 6, inside the Museum of Natural History, not only is it Julia Louis-Dreyfus Val, but it is also all of the people she's already brought together. Abomination is there. John Walker is there. Yelena Belova is there. And Sharon Carter is there as the power broker, bankrolling the whole thing. So, before Lunella Lafayette shows up, most of those people leave. But John Walker being involved, that catches the attention of a very important hero in the MCU. None other than Sam Wilson, Captain America, who is going to team up with Moon Girl to help free Devil Dinosaur, much like this rad cover of Planet Hulk that I'm putting in the doc. Enjoy Captain America and Devil Dinosaur working together. It's rad and super awesome. But they're going to team up in this new movie, and it's or in this new TV show called Giraffe and Amerisaur: the City That Never Extincts.
What? That's nonsense. That's gobbledygook.
But it rhymes, Kyle. It rhymes.
Giraffe and Amerisaur: the City That Never Extincts.
It got better the second time somehow.
It's so bad that it's good. That I love it.
I don't think it is.
I
think it's just so bad. It's just bad.
Okay.
It's like a birdemic kind of thing. Like,
yeah,
it's like you so earnestly delivered it that I feel like I have to give it to you.
A little peek behind the podcast curtain. I spent maybe an hour this morning clicking through the Marvel.com list of characters, which if you've never just done, is quite a ride. And
that's how I spent ages 11 to 14, actually.
Yeah, right? I used to put them all in PowerPoint and make PowerPoints to torture my parents. But I came up with a whole list of heroes, and I just wasn't getting there. And so I was out driving around today for work, And about 3 hours into my shift, I stopped at a red light and I smacked my forehead and said, Giraptinosaur, how do I get there? Here we are.
No notes.
Kevin is speechless.
As you should be. You tell the Fi she can have that idea for free.
No, he knows. What's that?
What's that?
Matt, we aren't getting paid for any of this.
No.
It's for the exposure, Kyle.
Well, these have all been 3 options, and as you know, there's really going to be one big deciding factor. So the biggest thing with Disney Plus Day is actually going to be tied to our super secret bonus question. So before we take a break, I have to throw this out there. The biggest thing about Disney Plus Day is that they start making announcements of castings. They start saying movie titles, headlining cast, and there's usually like some really big reveals. If you remember, Disney Plus Day last year was one of the first times they officially acknowledged that Christian Bale was playing Gore the God Butcher. And so we are looking to capture that lightning in a bottle today. So for the super secret bonus question, what headlining names will you be attaching to some of these major names in your property, in your series? When we flash that character up on the screen, who is attached to their name? And so we will take that answer after the break.
Hi everyone, Kyle here to remind you of our Patreon and just to give you a quick rundown of what joining our Patreon will get you at each tier. So for $5 a month, you'll become a card-carrying member of #ButtThwompNation, which includes access to exclusive Debate This premium feed featuring our D&D Real Play podcast, The Office Drones. Members of Buttthwomp Nation will also get access to our private Discord server, where we talk about what we are playing and watching, or share cursed memes curated from the deeper recesses of the internet. For $10 a month, you'll unlock extended podcast episodes, behind-the-scenes content, and access to community events like movie night watch-alongs. Ever wonder what watching the Nick Cage Ghost Rider over nonstop commentary by Matt would be like? Well, now you don't have to wonder anymore. And if you really want to spread the Debate This love, you can join our $25 monthly tier to commission your very own flavor text. Anyone that stays at this tier for 3 months will be eligible to dictate our next lore deep dive. You want a book report on the deeper story behind 7-Up's cool spot? Great. How about a dramatic reading of Sonic fan fiction? Also great, and a little gross. And for the rest of the month of October, if you become a new patron or move up a tier, you will receive a special spooky Debate This sticker to help sweeten the deal. And now, back to the show.
All right, and we are back. So the super secret bonus question is, what are some of the headlining names that you are attaching to these characters that are leading these series that you've presented? Kyle, why don't you go ahead?
All right, so the first casting we're going to announce, which is great for the Disney Corporation because it involves some cross-network synergy.
Nice.
In our titular role, playing Dazzler will be none other than Disney's own Olivia Rodrigo, playing the rocker superhero Dazzler. Opposite her, playing Longshot, and this is more negotiable. We aren't settled on this entirely. We think Timothée Chalamet will be a great casting opposite her, and we'll get him into the MCU as well. And then to round out our stunt casting, so to speak, playing the gross inhuman monster Mojo.
Kevin is on the edge of his seat right now.
Will be comedian actor Danny McBride.
Oh, gross.
That fits. That was a good one.
Yeah.
Nice job.
I don't like how good that is. I don't like that at all.
Yeah.
Excellent. Andrew, what about yourself? And
So-
what's it? Hey, Kevin, what? Not J Law? Just anyone's not J. Okay. He just had a very specific. He said Jennifer Lawrence a lot and shook his head.
Mhm.
So I just wanted to.
We're good on Jennifer Lawrence for a while. So playing
Society said.
Yeah. So playing the main character, Raven Darkholme, is going to be Emily Blunt, which I'm really excited about. We haven't seen her in the MCU yet. I think she could do well as a very like kind of smarmy but still very likable Raven Darkholme. And then her will they won't they love interest, which is her canon love interest in the comic, Irene Adler, aka Destiny, is going to be played by Lake Bell. Now, if you don't know that name, Lake Bell is who voices Black Widow in What If. She's a very good. I mean, she is a comedic actress. She's been in a bunch of like Cartoon Network stuff.
She's also Poison Ivy in.
She's also Poison Ivy
the Harley
in
Quinn.
The
show.
very excellent Harley Quinn, which was the basis of a lot of this of my answer today. And I think her portrayal of Poison Ivy is a very good and one of the few like really really well written woman relationship. I don't know. There's probably a better way to say that. Sorry.
Sapphic relationship.
Thank you. Sapphic relationship. The next one we've got is Rogue, who won't have a name because this is like an origin for her character. I've cast her as Kiernan Shipka, who plays Sabrina in the Netflix adaptation of Sabrina. She was also in Mad Men when she was a lot younger. And then rounding out our cast of the Brotherhood is going to be Asa Butterfield as Pyro. And Asa Butterfield is in the news a lot as part of the pastiche of male UK actors who almost were Spider-Man. In addition to Timothée Chalamet.
A surprisingly wide field, yeah.
There's like 7 of them, yeah. So he's another one of those. So we're just going to get them all in.
All right, we like it. It sounds good. No glaring issues there. He's holding up a paper that just says Jennifer Lawrence with X's through it still. It's just a lot going on there.
A lot of bad blood there.
All right, Feige.
Matt, what about you? What are some of these names we're going to look for?
Yeah, man. So the big casting of Giraptin Amerisaur, the city that never extincts, is...
Thanks for getting that again.
You got it. Going to be the casting of Moon Girl, because she is the one who we're going to see throughout the MCU. Like, Devil Dinosaur is going to be here and there, but that's a big CGI budget. We're going to have to keep that out of a lot of movies. So we're going to get Moon Girl for the long haul. And that casting is going to be someone already on Disney's payroll from the upcoming live-action Little Mermaid adaptation. It's going to be Halle Bailey, not Halle Berry. I got those two confused for a long time. It's Halle Bailey. Different person.
I'm not familiar, but I'm in.
Cool. Yeah, great. Perfect. That's all you need to know. Now, who are we going to get to do Devil Dinosaur? That's a great question. I hear you asking it. Much like Rocket Raccoon is body acted on set by Sean Gunn, but then voiced by Bradley Cooper, Devil Dinosaur is going to be a tag team situation. We're going to have one person in the green suit with the rubber dots doing the motion capture for Devil Dinosaur, and we're going to have another person in the studio voicing his grapes and grunts. All right? Who is doing that body acting? None other than already killed off MCU member Ulysses Claw, Andy Serkis. Yep. Andy Serkis is going to be doing the motion capture for Devil Dinosaur. Who is doing the voice, you may ask? Bond villain also cast in The Little Mermaid, Javier Bardem. Javier Bardem as Devil Dinosaur's noises. In one more time, Giraptin Amerisaur, the city that never extincts.
Hi, it's me. I have questions. Hi,
I just want to point out that when Benedict Cumberbatch played and voiced a giant dinosaur-like reptile, he did the mocap and voice acting himself all at the same time, thus firmly planting him as the best actor in the MCU. I think that's the point I'm trying to make.
I believe wholeheartedly that if you asked Javier Bardem to mocap for a dinosaur, he would say yes.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know why you took that away from us.
Kevin, have we asked Javier Bardem if he'll mocap as a... We have asked him, and he hasn't gotten back to it. All right, so we're still waiting on that response. Completely different project we've asked him about.
I like the image of Andy Serkis walking around his studio with his arms kind of out like a T-Rex and like his neck like this. Because that's the behind the scenes footage I want to see.
Yeah. So there you go. There you have it. There's the casting.
Those are great. As you're saying them, I'm imagining. So sorry, I'm stepping out of the bit. I'm imagining Kevin is in front of the giant green screen at Disney Plus Day, and these things are sliding in, and he's actually giving that pitch of like, for a character this complex, We need 2 characters. Anyway, so back in the bit. Kevin and I think that you all have given us 3 really, really great options. And so before we can decide, we would like to hear just some closing statements. One final pitch that you can give us to send us home, and then we'll pitch it to the dark, shadowy beings that Kevin answers to each day and night.
Yeah, so Kevin, the thing that's really hot right now.
No, you're talking to me, and then I'm talking to Kevin.
Okay, so Todd,
you don't get to talk to Kevin directly, Kyle.
You don't talk to Kevin.
Please, I beg forgiveness. So Todd, the thing that's really hot right now is networks putting out properties, shows that are commentary on the things those networks are they themselves guilty of. See Squid Games on Netflix. I'm giving Disney the opportunity to have such a show where they can appear woke by criticizing TV, internet culture, while profiting from it at the same time. Plus, you get your chance to make your very own Squid Games-esque set very hot, very popular right now, just helping you capitalize on the trends that are popular today.
Andrew?
What I intend to do is to rewrite everything that was wrong about Falcon and the Winter Soldier and give our audiences a reason why Sharon Carter had a wound in one scene and then mysteriously did not in the next scene. We're going to retcon that. And if your buddy, the F Train, has any problems with the name, tell him that That's So Raven was not the first Disney Channel original series I tried to turn into from a Marvel series, but it was certainly the best.
I have a problem with the name F Train. I have a problem with
that. That's what Kevin calls himself when he rolls around with a group of problematic bachelors. That's his nickname. That's his weekend name. I don't know. It's weird. Matt, I want to forget that I said any of the things I just said.
Yeah, you got it. Let me sell it to you with the post-credit stinger. The one at the very end. The one that doesn't really matter to the canon. Smash cut. Fade in. Lights come up. And it is the head security guard walking back into Dinosaur jail, where, the big devil dinosaur has since broken out, and he thinks he's going to get fired. He throws down his mop, and he says something relatable to the people, and the camera pans around, and who do we see but Chris Pratt? Not as Star-Lord, no, but as Owen from the Jurassic World series. And it's another opportunity for variants in the MCU, baby. There you go. There you have it. Girapped in Amerisaur, the city that never extincts.
Oh. What are we doing? What is this?
Where do we go from here?
All right, I've got to make a choice. Go ahead and give yourselves some good vibes while I figure this out.
First of all, let me start by saying, Todd, I'm glad that we are both on the squad TikTok on the group of problematic bachelors that both appear on our TikTok For You pages. Matt. Or Andrew first. Good job trying to rectify the sins of Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I think it's great. I think another take at doing what's her name, Mystique, some justice is your heart's in the right place, and good job there. Matt, you did a Matt Cole. You gave us Captain Giraffed in Amerisaur.
Don't encourage him.
It doesn't matter if I do or not. He's gonna keep doing it. Yeah, you did a thing, and you somehow told We're Back, a dinosaur story with MCU characters, and that is something special that Kevin Feige, Todd, and Andrew and I can't take away from you, no matter how hard we try.
And we've tried.
Kyle, I like Mojo a lot. What a good pull. I mean, I don't like Mojo, but I like, you know what I mean? I like it in concept.
You like how much you don't like him?
Yeah. You, for a while, it sounded like you were kind of sketching out a Black Mirror episode.
So there's a little bit of Black Mirror in there as well.
Yeah. I know you've been watching a lot of Squid Games, so that definitely that DNA definitely sang pretty true. I haven't watched it yet, so yeah, no, very, very cool. I really like that idea. And it's something that hasn't.
The games are ripped right out of the comics as well. Like that's
got it.
That's wasn't accidental either.
Sure. I mean, usually with a situation like that, when it's based on, rating system, it's a tournament arc. It's a tournament arc. You did a tournament arc. Matt, also great job. I really like Devil Dinosaur. I really, really like Devil Dinosaur. It's stupid. It's really stupid. But
so are comics.
So are comics. And the art is really cool. And if you look at any cover of Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur, all the covers are really, really good. So good pull. Also, man, I want Dinosaur Jail. I want it. Give it to me. I want it.
Yeah, Kyle, I also really like Mojo. That was a wild pull. I've never heard of him, but this one particular picture you put in our note of him pulling his eyes open with a sign that says applause is awesome. Very cool.
That is a like standard look for Mojo. He was concepted after someone watched a few interviews of like Noam Chomsky talking about how awful television is going to be in the future, and then an interview with the creator of Clockwork Orange, and he's like, I like all of that, and made Mojo.
Oh, yeah. Shit, that totally looks like the main character in that scene in Clockwork Orange. Okay.
Yeah, I get it
now.
now.
That's where I've seen that before.
Yep.
Got it.
But yeah, that's really cool. And I like the idea of Dazzler and Longshot like palling around together as a punk rock crime solving duo. That rips. I'm super into it. That rips for sure. Andrew, Days of Future Past, best X-Men movie. Do it again. Sure. Yeah, why not?
We'll do it differently.
Listen, crazy that you and I both came here to talk about Falcon and the Winter Soldier today.
Right?
Absolutely bananas. It's so rare that I want to talk about Captain America and the Winter Soldier, and the fact that we both did it today is unreal.
Digital high five. And also both how we wanted to rewrite Sharon Carter, because I think that was the biggest travesty of that show.
Yeah, nobody caught the shaft in that show quite like Sharon Carter. Maybe the Flag Smashers, who had even less plot points, but whatever. Yeah. But yeah, good times. I would watch all of these shows. Would I enjoy them? Who's to say? But I'd watch them.
I would enjoy them more than What If. Oh, hot take.
Zing.
Much like Falcon and the Winter Soldier, there was at least an hour and a half of good What If.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we'll talk after. We'll get into that. We'll get into that in the after.
If you want to get more of the post-show good vibes, check out our Patreon at patreon.com/debatethiscast, where I will share the other Disney show that I thought about doing, which is way worse.
All of that said, Kevin and we've come to a conclusion. We've come to a decision together. And he wanted to let you all know that these are 3 very viable options for Disney Plus runs. Really viable the more I thought about it. However, the issue here is that at Marvel, we have a very strict 6-year minimum before we go back and make old movies better. And so we can't allow any new products to fix a movie until it is at least 6 years old. See Thor: The Dark World, see Avengers: Age of Ultron. And for that reason...
Days of Future Past came out in 2014. So.
That is not a Marvel property. No one talks about that, because that was Hugh Jackman's wonderful time-traveling ride. Anyway, all this is to say that, Kyle, you in fact are the winner today. And however, we are only doing your Disney Plus show if Danny McBride does play Mojo. That is the biggest linchpin. We took some risks with big CGI'd monsters in Loki. We think we can nail it again, and we want to make it happen.
My people have been in contact with Danny McBride, and he is on board if the F train is on board. With the stipulation, he wants to ride with that problematic group of bachelors. So
they call the squad.
The squad.
So with that said, that's going to be our episode. Thanks for listening to Debate This. You can follow along with the arguments on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at DebateThisCast, or on our website at debatethiscast.com. Until next time, I'm Todd Thomas.
I'm Kyle. Canonically, Mojo is responsible for the 1980s Howard the Duck movie, Harper.
I'm Andrew $5 footlongs Henderson.
And I'm Matt, the Grandmaster, reclined on a rail with his shirt unbuttoned, Cole.
And we're saying, thanks for debating with us. And if you think we're wrong, you can come fight us behind the swing sets, nerds.